Hello.
Hey, Araf. Hi.
Hi.
Just wait for the other circle to come by. Let's give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, sure. All good.
So your school has started, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
How's your how's your new timings looking like?
What do you mean by new timings?
As in, you said there was one week where you were not able to join in at 8 o'clock, right? So I thought there was a clash in school timings. No?
No, basically that was just my first week of school.
Okay.
Like that was the right before the very first day of school. So that was on a Wednesday, and my school was starting on a Thursday, so I couldn't join that one day.
Got it. Okay. No
So
worries.
Friday should be fine because it's right before the weekend.
Mhm. Okay. Cool. Pritesh might take some time.
All
Oh,
good.
he's here. Hey, Faraz.
Hi, sir.
Uh, let's just wait for another minute. Maybe Prajwal and let me just ping them. Do you have the Zoom link? Okay, we'll get started. The rest of the folks would join in whenever they can. So what? Let's just do a quick overview of what happened last week. Uh, where's your project at, Arav?
Sorry.
So what did we do in the last session? Like what's the progress on your project? How farther
Last week we
has
were just getting me, Advik, and Pritish. We were just getting set up on both GitHub and linking the accounts, and we started learning a bit about the tables, all of that. And me and Advik like kind of put some prompts into both to give
mm,
us a preview. But I'm on the both app right now, and on the preview page on the right side, it's just a blank white page. It's not showing us anything.
got it. Got it. Yeah, yeah. So it's a common error. Yeah, we'll get right to it. Faraz, what's the status on your project?
Yeah, me and Pratisha tried it out. There was some problem in the login, so we tried to
Mhm,
fix that. And because of that, I don't think I have any more tokens or whatever you call them.
mhm, mhm. Okay. Okay. So just a couple of things before we get started out here, right? Like number one, I think it's time for you guys to get started on the pro version of Bolt. The starting thing, I think it's $25 a month, I think, if I remember it correctly, right? So that will give you 10 million tokens, which should be comfortable enough for you to build the entire project on, right? So that's number one. So take the pro subscription. That's number one. Second, specifically when it comes to authentication, basically your login and sign up flows, there is like a little bit of a problem with Bolt and Superbase, right? So typically, what I found uh, easier to handle would be get started without authentication, test out all your core flows and everything, and add authentication in a different app called Cursor. right? Like Cursor is it's an ID based coding tool again. So we'll kind of go through it maybe a little later, right? Let's just let's probably get started off with without authentication. Let's go through the rest of the workflows and then get started, right? Okay. So Arav, can you share your screen? You said you
Yeah, sure.
already are on Bolt already.
Yeah, yeah. All good.
Guys, and from today's session onwards, right? Today, we'll spend about 15, 20 minutes on going through some usual issues that you'll run into building with AI. How do you navigate those and stuff like that? But moving forward from next session onwards, it's going to be largely issue resolution, right? So we're not going to so in fact the next few conversations if you have a issue or if you feel like you got stuck somewhere, that's when me and Pritesh will jump in, kind of debug with you and walk you through things and then get you to towards completion. uh, so you'll also need to spend like 15, 20 minutes or half an hour a day gets continue prompting. You have your PRD, you know what you have to build. You understand prompting. The only questions that you'll probably have is what happens at a certain point in time. If something fails, what is the reason? What is the core reason why it's failing? These are questions that you'll have. So either ping us or in our next call, we'll kind of sort it out, right? So that's how we're going to do it in the next three sessions. The URL that I shared with all the prerequisites of Bolt, it covers some pretty interesting. So there's something called discussion mode, prompting frameworks, and all of that. Those are very, very important. You should definitely go through all of that. All right. Okay. Let's start checking this. Um, oh, you have okay, you have 6K tokens left for the day. Okay. Just scroll up top. I just want to see the prompts one after the other. Um, hey, who's Kushi?
Hi, sir. That's me, Prajwal.
Oh, hey,
So
Rachel. Okay.
there's been some issue with my account, sir.
Yeah, sure. No worries, no worries.
Mm.
Okay. So this is the first prompt, is it,
Yeah.
Arif? Okay.
Yep.
Scroll down. Then it did some basic build,
Yeah.
and then okay, fair enough. Scroll down. Then naming conflict issue. Okay, cool. So, uh, one thing which is extremely important to note is while giving a prompt, it could be any prompt at any point in the workflow. Uh, Prompt should follow the framework that we spoke about. What's the context? Specificity. For example, fix any problems present within the code. Now, we're not explicitly telling what error it is, or we're not giving it more context about what that issue is. We don't need to understand the issue, right? For example, in this case, it says identifier create donation has already been declared. So what does that tell? For example, this from the error message, it seems like there is a declaration of a component which has happened two times or more than once.
Yeah.
That's most likely a problem, right? So there are a couple of ways to fix errors like these, right? So we'll go down. Scroll further. Scroll further. Scroll down. So there's some errors that it's been fixing. Scroll further. Again, can you give us an app preview based on the above description? Okay, fair enough. Go down. Go down. Go down. Okay.
And this was when I
Uh,
saw the widescreen, so I just put this.
got it. Got it. So it shows a blank screen. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Go
That's it.
further. Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm like cautious to put any prompt right now is because 6K tokens will fly away in like within a
Yeah.
second, right? It probably won't let you complete. So let's not make any changes at this point without topping it up, right?
Yeah.
Let's get a version which is, I think you should subscribe to the pro version and then we can resume on that. Meanwhile, go to code, go to your code section, yeah, right? If you keep scrolling down, slowly. No, no, in the files section, the left pane. Yeah. Keep scrolling down. Um, okay. So, okay. So if you look at it, right, so there's one very important because you're connecting your front end to your back end, right?
Yeah.
Now, how does that? So, can you go to Superbase? I'll show you something out there. So basically, think of this Superbase project as a portal where you need access. So basically, your front end needs to access this backend, right?
Yeah.
And then fetch all the information out there because that's how you'll see, for example, tomorrow, if you have to see the pet shelters and individuals like as donors and stuff, right? They need to fetch data from the database and then show it up front to the user. Now, to
Yeah.
fetch database is something which uh, prevents people without their access tokens, it will not let it enter it. So how does the backend know that the front end calls that it is making should be allowed or not? There has to be certain unique identifier. There has to be a certain lock and key mechanism, right? If you have the key, then I'll open the lock for you, and then you can access the data. So that's what it all says, right? Now go to project settings. You'll find it. Yeah. So if you look at project ID, right? That project ID is the address. Basically, that is where your app, your database is present at. All right.
Yeah.
Click on connect. Up top, you're going to see a button called connect. Go to app frameworks, the next tab. This is very important. So what you see here, next underscore public Superbase URL and Superbase anonymous key below, right? So those two, those are the lock and key mechanisms, right? So
Sorry, where's that?
first, there itself, yeah, yeah. Next underscore public underscore Superbase underscore URL. No, no, under in the first tab itself. Yeah,
Oh,
correct.
oh, okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Right. So you find two things, right? Think of it as two-factor authentication of sorts. Again, not the exact same thing, but like a loose analogy, right? So basically, the front end serves basically think of it like this, right? Superbase is gatekeeping, right? The guy at Superbase kind of asks like, what is the value for, let's say, Superbase URL? Front
Yeah.
end gives this value, and then the other thing. So only if these two matches, only then the gates would be open, and then you'll see that the front end can access the data. Now, the reason why you were getting a blank screen earlier was because in your front end the lock and key mechanism was not set up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you go back to Bolt? Right. Up top, you'll see integrations towards the
Yeah.
right side.
Yeah.
Click on that. Click on Superbase. Choose your project. Yeah. Click on it. Connect project. Okay. It says connecting. Save and overwrite. Yeah. Save and overwrite. And you can apply changes. Click on apply changes.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay. That's only because it's trying to rewrite all the SQL that you were writing previously. But now take a look at the dot. So there's a new file that had come up here. In code, you'll see .env. Can you click on that?
The what?
.env, correct. That. Can you scroll up? You see Superbase and anon key and URL. So basically, your front end is now holding your values from the database and then accessing it. Now there is another problem. So you could try clicking on attempt fix. If this is solvable within 6K, you should see something on your screen. So the reason I'm like the reason we're kind of doing this is not just specific. Okay, now click on show problem. Click on show problem. It says terminal. Can you click on preview? It says, okay. So yeah, the reason it didn't happen is because it's a temp fix. Like
Around token.
your tokens are all done, right? So I
Yeah.
think you should take a pro account, and then that's when you'll be able to continue further. Now, the reason why we're doing this issue is not specific just to this project alone, right? This
Yeah.
issue can happen for everyone because the first thing that you'll need to do, because you've already set up your tables and everything in Superbase, right? So you need to connect your front end and back end. That's what the integrations does. So once that is done, the rest of the things becomes quite easy again. Now, okay. So let me take a look at okay, 1 second. Who else is on my screen? Right, Prajwal, can you share your screen now? Do you have Bolt tokens left?
Yes, sir, I think.
Yeah, can you share your screen?
Just once.
Right, so I have a question.
Hmm.
So, just wondering, like, we already have this, like we have this like app being built, like this project has been like within Bolt has been started. Would it be worth the time and effort to start perhaps again with a better first prompt? Because I think I accidentally just put like the FRs, I just put them there without much of context. So
Brilliant. In fact, okay, so I'm so tempted to understand the rationale behind that question. It's a brilliant question. I'll tell you why. So what made you think, like, is it starting over is a better thing than trying to fix it?
because like you also, I think you or sir just said that like it is a good idea. The first prompt is like the make or break. So I thought maybe if we redo the first prompt, then a lot of the issues that we're currently facing can be fixed at once, and we can include additional details such as how this should the interface look, how should the like how the
Correct.
different parts, like add more parts to the PRD in the database to just help it out. That's all.
Man, at some point, I'm a little envious of you guys, right? I mean, it took me like around 3 to 4 months to figure out that, sometimes starting over is like a lot better than trying to fix something. So there was this one project that I was working for a client. We were almost 80% done. Right now, the problem was that this was somewhere around 6 months ago. By that time, AI tools were not that strong and robust enough. And I mean, these are all new things, right? So even we're learning as they come by. So we were almost done 80% out there. The project missed one key document, which was the actual PRD. So now the reason why you saw PRDs with FRs and everything written in that particular structure was because we faced a massive issue back then. AI got super confused because there were so many prompts, so many documents across. So and we tried fixing it one by one. We got in a few developers to try and fix it. Didn't work. So what happened was that we then kind of made it a concise document in this exact format that we wrote the FRs. 4 or 5 prompts got us back to the 80% where we were already, right? So in this case, you're right, right? At some point, if you think that, and the advantage is that you're already in the initial stages itself. So it already makes sense to restart the project, maybe start off afresh rather than trying to fix some broken pieces. Uh, Whenever you're starting though, please make it a point see again, LLMs, they read instructions sequentially. Whatever information that you give at the top gets higher precedence. Because by any chance, if you exceed the maximum prompt size by any chance, right? The LLMs trim away the bottom part of the prompt. So if you put any important queries at the bottom, they'll get chopped off. So typically what I do is I give the objective, like what are we building? Then I say, here's some basic design criteria. And then a very important, so I'll kind of in bold and say very important, very important, very important and stuff like that. I'll repeat it. I'll introduce a lot of redundancy of that and say Superbase tables and everything has already been created. Do not create new tables on your own. Stick to whatever I say. So the number of times that you reinforce, see, the best way to do prompting is to sound like a very annoying, nagging grandmother, right? Now, you have to take that persona, like it's like you keep telling the same thing like again and again, right? And that's how LLMs perform better as well. You should be annoyed of yourself yourself by saying the same thing. That means you're doing the right prompting approach. So do that and then start off. And then after that, you should always be building section by section, which we will see in due course. Um, okay. So Prajwal, can you open up the chat? Yeah, Community Connect.
Hey, KG, sorry, just one
Yeah.
thing, before you start this.
Mhm.
I'm about to drop in and out because my parents are now in Hong Kong and my brother's sick, so if my dog barks, I'll have to take care of him.
Sure, no worries.
Sorry.
Just make sure that Arav Arvik, make sure you take a pro subscription on Bolt so that you can get started and continue prompting away.
Yeah, sure.
Got it. How
Okay.
many? Is there a daily limit for the pro version or not?
Pro version, there's no daily limit. I mean, if you use it well enough, if you plan your prompts within 10 million tokens, you should comfortably be able to close your project. But be very, very careful. I'll walk. I think in this session, I'll also walk you through some points that you should remember not to do. Otherwise, you're going to consume your tokens. Like every token can burn up to 500,000 tokens at some point, right? So we'll avoid some of those things. Like we'll go step by step. Rajwal, can you scroll up? I just want to see the initial prompt that we've given. So we said functional requirements and all at the top. What did we do? We said do not create your own tables, only use what will be connected in the next prompt, brief, objective, and a given. Okay, fair enough. So here we said a simple this thing. Okay. Try clicking on any of those buttons now. Let's say join as a volunteer or NGO. Okay, so there is a basic thing out there. Can you go up top? You'll see integrations. Okay, we see Superbase is already integrated. Perfect. Uh, so Arav, I think this also partly answers one of the questions. The reason why you got a blank screen initially was because your front end has the data already, but then it doesn't have the lock and key details to connect to the database. So the circuit is not complete, and hence it's a blank screen coming up. In this case, front end is now properly connected with back end. Now it knows that there's something out there. Okay, let's now test this flow. So what are the functional requirements that we've given? Can you just quickly scroll through? We said user registration is sort of done. Task management is done. And then scroll down. Okay. Go to now click on discussion mode. Can you click on discussion? Discussion. Okay. This is a very important thing, right? By getting, how do you? Okay, it's a good question for everyone to answer, right? I want to hear different ways in which you can do this. How do you check whether AI is hallucinating or not? How do you check whether it understood the context or not?
If the prompt which you gave and the output is like very different, then AI is clearly
Correct.
yeah.
That's one thing. So which means you will have to look at the input prompt. What exactly is the task that you asked for? But then what is the output that it is giving? Which means you're reviewing the output also. So that's one way of checking whether AI is hallucinating or not. Are there any other ways to check whether AI understood context or not?
Maybe questioning it about its output.
Perfect. What do you mean by that? Like questioning itself about the output?
Like any certain or specific part or which was mentioned and the output was given, and then if we question it about that and then has a clear idea of it or a perfect answer, then maybe it's not hallucinating.
Good. If you look at some of the questions that I'm asking, right? Uh, Initially, I was about to tell like how to check whether AI is hallucinating or not, but then I paused and then I framed it as a question. The moment I ask a question, what was running in your mind initially if I would have told you this is how you avoid hallucinations in AI, it would have been like a one-way communication, right? Your brain wouldn't probably be functioning at the level what it should, right? But now when I asked you a question, what happened?
We got to like pondering and checking out all the possibilities.
Exactly, right? And that's exactly how LLMs behave as well. So when you ask LM a question more specifically, when you ask it to explain what it's doing, or when we ask it to tell us what it understood, that's when it starts thinking back and kind of gives you certain output. And then, for us, like you said, matching the output will tell us whether it is hallucinating or did it get the context right or not, right? Now, in this case, let's do this, Prajwal. Um, just ask it a question, right? Like, so list down all the functionalities that you have implemented so far. Like, don't worry about spelling mistakes. I think AI is smart enough to understand, get a sense of things. Uh, tr- Try to use punctuation as much as possible. Spelling mistakes doesn't matter, right? Okay. That you no, list out all the functionalities, no, that you have implemented so far, not listed, because implemented, yeah. Okay, now before we hit enter, one quick question. Is this prompt detailed enough, or should we improve this prompt further? Question? Sorry, thoughts?
It looks a little vague and
It looks
broad.
a little vague. Okay.
Yeah.
So do one thing. Copy. I mean, select the prompt, copy it just so that you can test it again later. Okay. So you see that enhance prompt button below, right? The one next, yeah, correct. Click on that. Okay. Now let's read through the prompt. Your Claude and AI assistant by Anthropic, please provide a comprehensive overview of your current capabilities and functionalities. Organize your response into clear categories. Include the following areas: text analysis, clear. Okay. So basically, this messed up, right? Like this didn't understand the intent, what we did. So copy everything and remove it, which means we'll have to enhance our prompt ourselves. Okay, copy it. Sorry, paste the prompt that you shared. So what additional context do you think we should give to make this prompt a bit more meaningful and a bit less vague? What additional information can we give?
Maybe like restate the purpose of the app you're building, just so it
Yeah,
expands in his mind.
let's do that. Yeah, yeah. Let's add that. Let's add that. No, no. We should ask LLM to tell what is the purpose of the app. So what is it that we're building, and what is the purpose and intent, so that it'll sort of jog its memory about what the purpose is. So basically, whenever LLMs try to think about what the purpose is and everything, that sort of clears its memory and gives it more context. I mean, it's a recursive thing. Okay. So um, an additional thing that we could possibly ask for is list out all the functionalities that you have implemented so far. Uh, Also list out the functionalities that are yet to be implemented. Yet to be implemented. So now if you look at it, right, we're asked, so the number of reinforcements that we're doing, we're asking what functionalities did you implement? And then we're also asking what functionalities you're yet to implement or you have not implemented it yet. Now, I mean, one could mean the other, right? Inference, it's an inference. Okay, out of 10 things, I did 3, means that I did not do 7. But then in the world of LLMs, saying what you didn't do is also additional context. So the more context we give, the better. All right. So now let's go ahead, send it. By the way, after every prompt that you give, after every tiny implementation that you add to your app, you should test it rigorously. Do not proceed if you haven't tested it enough. Okay. Scroll down. Yeah, for us.
I had a question like, does the number of tokens which is consumed per prompt depend on the intensity of the prompt?
Yes. Oh, it's a brilliant question. It does actually. I think that is something that you'll need to take into consideration when you do your prompt, your token management, right? So when you all, I think you should all take the pro subscription because you're going to unlock one very powerful feature called dynamic reasoning. I showed you in the previous session where dynamic reasoning is, right? Uh, Once you turn on dynamic reasoning, uh, what it does is the how long should AI think before executing a task depends on how complex the feature or the implementation is. If it is a simple, let's say, for example, if the change is rename community connect to, let's say, make a change in spelling, etc., then it doesn't have to think because it knows where the text is and it will go up front and make the text edit itself. But if we say, I don't want to do this, I also want to, let's say, let my users sign in with Google. You see that sign in with Google, sign in with Apple, sign in with Microsoft, and all of that, right? So I want to implement that functionality. Now that is new functionality that we're asking for. In which case, AI has to think about what has been implemented so far, what needs to be implemented, what is the gap, and then let me implement it. So this takes a set of actions. So this prompt takes consumes a lot more tokens than the previous one, right? Uh, but yeah, short answer, yes, for us. It depends on the intensity and complexity of what you want to implement in that particular prompt. Okay. The main purpose is to serve as a simple web platform that connects student volunteers and stuff. Okay, implemented. So core layout is sorted. Uh, and this is what you should do, right? For example, when you're reading this through, it says routing. Client-side routing is set up using React Router DOM with routes for home, tasks, login, sign up, and forgot password. Now, what is DOM? What is client-side routing? Now, as if you see or come across terms that you don't understand, copy that, go to Perplexity, ChatGPT, and give it context. Hey, I'm building blah blah blah. This is what, let's say I'm building with Bolt. This is what Bolt has said. Can you explain what it does? Right. So it's very important to understand each and everything that AI does because at the end of the day, you should be the one in control of your code. You need to understand where things are. You need to understand each and every functionality. So you need to understand that. Wherever there's something that you don't understand, take it to ChatGPT, Claude, ask away questions, understand, and go forward. Right. Okay. Responsive design is done. Then authentication flow, scroll down. It says login page, sign up, forgot password, and all of that. Task discovery is done. Data structures is this. Functionalities to be implemented. It says actual connect the auth context to Superbase for real. Okay. So now the reason we were trying to do this is it says it's not just Superbase integration, right? It says connect auth context. Now, auth context is something related to authentication itself. So whenever you type in your email ID, password, if you've signed in already, the data that gets stored needs to be verified with a Superbase database, whether it exists or not. So that functionality is what needs to be implemented. It says it is yet to be implemented. Then user role assignment, integrate Superbase to assign and manage user roles and all of that, right? Then scroll down, NGO verification and all of that, task creation, developer form, volunteer user flow. Okay, so on and so forth. Once you've started your project, do not try to implement multiple things at one go. Things are going to be messing up. So can you go up? Can you scroll up a bit? Can you pick just the Superbase integration, those 3 points? Copy. Right now go down. Let's now say, hey, let's implement only these functionalities so that I can sign up as a new user and test the flow, and then paste that. Yeah, be in discussion mode. Be in discussion mode. while you type that, another thing is uh, discussion mode consumes 90% lesser tokens than the build mode. So every time it's always best to use discussion mode to ask Bolt to come up with the plan to implement what we wanted to, because it then thinks like a technical engineer and it details out a plan in such a level of detail that we usually won't write a prompt. I'll show that right now. Yeah. Okay, and then in next time, paste that. Uh, Instead of saying, now let's implement these functionalities. Okay. Okay, but normally a good prompt would be okay, there. It's okay, chill, chill. That's okay, that's fine. See, this is the plan that it gives. Scroll up. Now it says initialize Superbase client. It says, I mean, we wouldn't have thought about it otherwise, right? Then integrate Superbase into auth context. And then it says modify this file to import the client, update this hook to listen for Superbase authentication changes. Now, this level of detail is what is needed for AI to work. Now, we wouldn't be able to write this level of prompt. So we use discussion mode to tell what we want to implement and explicitly tell board to come up with an action plan. It then comes up with an action plan. We review the action plan, and if it sounds good enough, that's when we scroll down. You can click on implement this plan.
I should click it on. Like, I should click on it right now.
Yeah, you can click on it. Right. So never click on implement plan without reviewing the plan. See, the biggest problem with AI is that if you don't review stuff and be like, okay, go ahead and do it, there might be one place where AI will screw things up, right? And it's going to be super, super hard to find out exactly where it messed up and try and fix it. So each stage, there's this popular saying in like building in with AI tools, right? They say slow is fast. Now, why they say that is the slower you go, each step you review, you take your time, don't be in a hurry. The faster you complete because you're not going to run into errors or issues or anything of that sort. Right. So that's in general about things. So today what we've covered, number one, we've covered discussion mode, how to use discussion mode, like how do you prompt into discussion mode and get an action plan for Bolt to implement next. Then we also spoke about environment variables, env dot ema file, which is like the connection between your front end and your back end. Then there's one more very important thing that you need to remember, and I think these are the three basics. That's all. Whenever you see that Bolt is running into a chain of errors, more than 3 errors to back, if you see that from happening, there's a highly likely chance that Bolt is hallucinating and it can't fix it. In that case, trying to click on the fix this issue button is not going to help it. It's only going to consume your tokens. What you should do is, can you scroll up? Let it continue. Scroll up further, even further, to the last point where, even further, to the last point where Bolt would have edited a file. Okay, hold. Do not click on any button, all right? Do not click on any button. You see the restore option there, right? Yeah, correct. So click on the last known checkpoint as a restore button so that basically what it does is it erases all the memory that the AI had done after that point. It traces its memory back to that point, right? So that's what it does. If you get into a repeated set of errors, 3 to 4 errors back to back, do not try and go forward. Go back and roll back or restore to a checkpoint. Okay. So now we have an error, right? So the error says unexpected token. Okay. So what? Just read through the error. What do you guys think this error could be? Any any idea?
I guess it doesn't know what to do after the button is clicked.
Fair. That is one variant. The other thing, yeah, you should try and read through. So it says number one, fail to scan for dependencies from home project index and stuff. So unexpected closing badge tag done, and no does not match opening button tag. Okay. So can you click on that tasks that file on the right side, the green text. Click on the green text right side on the code pane. Yeah, yeah. Correct. Click on that. It's not going, is it? Then go to code, go to SRC pages and tasks. Okay, you're on the right page. Okay. The error was on line number 242 or something. Scroll down. Okay, okay. So here you see there's a thing called badge, correct? So you see badge, right? Now, did you guys work on JavaScript or HTML before? If you see that, you'll see in 239, sorry, 240, you see a button, okay, right? Now that button, I'm just putting this in chat, right? Tag something tag. So if you look at the Zoom chat, right? Usually this is there is some content inserted between a tag, right? In this case,
So doesn't the badge have to be a button too? Like,
exactly. Make that change. Yeah, save.
that
Okay, now click on preview,
there's one
refresh.
there's one more error, right?
Yeah, we'll see
Okay.
that also. Yeah, you can click on that refresh button. It worked. That's it, right? And
Yeah.
and I mean, you could have clicked on attempt fix,
Hmm.
right? It would have done the same thing, but it would have consumed some tokens. But here, because you tried reading through the error statement, you understood, like, what the issue was, and basically you realized that the name of the tag was not same. Earlier it said button, below it said badge, right? And that was the error. So if you think you can try and do a manual fix, go for it. Otherwise, you can use attempt fix button. All right. Okay. Now let's try to do the sign up flow.
Okay.
Join as a volunteer. Yeah. Yeah. Give a test name. Call it test volunteer or something. And give your name. Give your email ID, because you're going to get a confirmation email of sorts. Mhm. Keep a simple password which you can remember, like test at 1 2 3 or something. Yeah. Sign up. Okay. Now we should read through. Can you read through what it says?
Super base request failed.
Correct. And then it says, then it says, code is something, then details null, messages, new row violates row level security policy for table profiles. Now, any idea what that means?
No idea.
Okay. So, can you go to Superbase? Again, guys, this is a very, very common source of issue, by the way. These are all authentication related issues. If you solve for authentication, your 50% of your project is done. The rest of the functionalities are super, super easy. Authentication is a pain in the ass, right? Like, so if you can fix that, everything else is done. Go to your tables, go to profiles. Okay. Actually, you know what? Go hover on left side. Yeah, click on authentication. Authentication. Do you see your user, your email ID had been is there already?
Yeah.
Right. But why is it not letting you sign in?
Mm.
Go back to tables. Ah. So what happens is when a user signs up, there has to be a code which takes the user details and it should insert into the profiles table. So basically, the UUID is the unique ID. Name is like currently it will be blank because maybe we've already given the name field already, right? Role is what it will be created as volunteer. And when is it created? Only if the user entry gets populated into profiles, only then your rest of the tables and authentication and the rest of the things will work out. So that's why it didn't work. Now, every table, especially in this is Postgres SQL, right? This database. Uh, every line, every row has a security. It's called a row level security policy, RLS policy for short. It will tell you what, for example, let's say take Instagram, right? When you log in, when you create your account, only you can post something on your profile. I should not be able to post something. Now, how do we set those rules? Those rules like RLS policies, RLS rules, right? It says only an authenticated user can see some of these tables. Only the authenticated user can edit their own, let's say, job requirements, something of that sort. So those are certain rules that we set up. Can you go to the left side? Hover on the thing. Um, Click on, let's say, edge functions. Actually, not edge functions. Click on uh, advisors. Security advisor. Okay, I think Superbase have changed its UI a bit. Just scroll, hover again to the left. We should find something called okay, click on table editor. There, yeah, up top you'll find RLS policies. Yeah, click on that. Okay, so it says users can view their own profile, users can update their own profile, right? This is on the profile. Now, it does not say users can insert a row, right? So it only says if a user is present in the profiles table. If it is present, then they can only view or update. It doesn't say a user can insert a new row into the table into this table. I'll take a pause here. Is this getting confused, or if there are any questions, I can explain that again. I'm assuming not. Okay. So this is something that we need to update. So there are two ways again. We could manually create a policy ourselves, or we could get Bolt to create it. Right. So let's go back to Bolt. Uh, let's go to Bolt. Yeah. Scroll down. Okay. I think click on ignore. Click on ignore. Try doing try logging in now this time using your email ID password. You'll get the same error. No, not join in. Try login. Click on login. You'll get the same error. Okay. Now click on it. Show problem. The same thing, right? Email not okay. Email not confirmed. And so okay, that's fine. Click on attempt fix. Actually, this is not a problem because you didn't get a email. Not you didn't get your email, right? Can you go to your check your email? Did you get anything from Superbits? Refresh. Yeah, yeah. I should click that. Click on it. Confirm. Okay, so now there's an issue here. Okay, cool, no worries. Go back, go back to your Bolt. Go to Bolt. Okay, it says I need more information. The email is good, but I need to know your add user friendly or error handling, usable email confirmation. Okay, let's do this. So basically, it's saying we will enable confirmation. So basically, whenever someone signs up onto this portal, we're telling, hey, I received your request. I'm sending you an email. You click on that so that I'll confirm you that you're a real user. That's what we're trying to do. The reason why this happens is a lot of times what happens is there are some just to spam things, right? I'll use an email like abc at 123, right? It is not a valid email. To ensure that a real user logs in, we kind of set up something called verification of the email. For the time being, for testing this flow, we can disable it. Go to Superbase. I think everyone, you should all do this on your own, on your Superbase accounts as well. Go to sign in providers in the left side. Allow new users. Click on email. Some email. You can disable that and save changes. Okay. Now go to users again. Click on users. Up top, under right below manage. Select your account, as in click that checkbox icon. Click the checkbox icon. Yeah, and delete user. Why we are deleting it now is we will redo the entire user authentication process and stuff. Now, can you go back? Bolt, yeah. Join as a volunteer and do the sign up flow again. Okay. Now click on attempt fix because okay, wait a minute. It says you've used up all your remaining tokens. I think we wouldn't probably be able to move forward. Okay, cool. So just a couple of things. I think you can stop your screen share. Will anyway, we're almost close to the session end as well. I think in the next session when we pick up, I think Faraz will pick up your project and run through. We've done a cycle of Arav and Advik. We've looked at Prajwals. Let's take your project next and take it to some completion towards that. Your project, Prajwal, sorry, Faraz, try to exclude authentication in Bolt. Okay, we'll do authentication later on. So it's just a prompt. You can just simply give that prompt saying, if you've already implemented, that's fine. But if you've not, you can always say, we'll do authentication towards the end. Do not implement any authentication as such. Right. So let's try from there and then go for it. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. I think we will catch up in our next session. But before that, I would say please take the pro subscription, right? And start prompting one by one, right? Like one thing at a time. And each and every prompt, like even like planning mode, everything, make sure if you do a one-liner prompt, it's going to flop, right? It's not going to work out. It will kind of probably give in errors unless it's a very small change. For example, it's a spelling mistake or it's a thing that you should maybe tweak up or something like that, right? Make sure that you give for every prompt that you give, you need to clearly tell what is the error. What did you do, let's say 1-2 steps before? What is your expectations? And do all of that in discussion mode. Always use discussion mode first to come up with a plan of action and then review the plan of action and then implement it. Do not, in fact, I've built like close to 10-15 projects only on Bolt. Even till today, I never give an action plan directly in Bolt. It's only the first prompt that I design and give it. After that, it's always discussion mode I clearly say, okay, this is something that we're going to do. This is something that I want to do, and blah blah. Generate an action plan. It generates a detailed action plan. I review all of that. If there are any changes, I'll kind of say, I don't want to do this in this iteration. Uh, Maybe not just this change, and then update the plan. When it gives you updated plan, that's when I go ahead and click implement this and test it right away. So just some golden rules. Number one, always ensure you use discussion mode to generate an action plan. Second, review the action plan. If it is good, then implement it. Third, always implement small pieces at a time. Do not try and do a lot of things in one section. It will start messing things around. If you're getting a blank screen, most likely it's because the environment variables have not been defined. So you need to connect the front end with back end. Most importantly, if you're getting the same error more than 2 to 3 times, the same error or a similar type of errors 2 to 3 times, do not click on fix issue, fix issue, fix issue. Please go back to the last point where it was all fine, restore, and then try again. Right. So these are some things that you should keep in mind. And of course, I mean, you have YouTube all throughout, right? Like, it's all throughout the entire thing. Wherever you get it out, use ChatGPT. And I hope you all have set up your Claude projects or Perplexity spaces or Info or whatever, right? Like you should have your FRD, you should have your database schema in project documents so that it has context. If you're still running into issues, you can describe the issue, the exact error message, everything in your preferred LLM outside and say, hey, I'm working with Bolt. This is the error that I'm getting. What do you think is a fix? Understand the fix and then try implementing it. So it's all the more you understand, the better. The more context you give, the better. And the more questions you ask LLMs, the better it gets context, right? I think these are like the ground rules that you need to remember, and then it's good to go.
I have one more point and to add to whatever KG said. So all of them make sense, massively make sense. I'll tell you one anecdote in which I burnt probably 50 million tokens. So again, I see KG laughing already. So do one thing. Whenever you are making your app complex, after any major change that you do, any major change, like forget spelling changes and all, do a smoke test. What do you mean by smoke test is what are the core features that you are trying to build there? Like one, login. Second, let's say I'm seeing Arav and Advik on the screen. So your volunteer will be able to find a shelter, the shelter lookup page. So whatever is your core feature that you are building, smoke test that if it is broken or not. If it is broken, roll back to one previous point and start reworking. Because if you have gone too deep into the rabbit hole, it's very difficult to come back. So I'll tell you a small anecdote. So I was working on a project. I spent 4 days continuously, like probably 10, 12 hours a day working on it, burned 60 to 70 million tokens on it. But then I goofed up the core functionality of the product on the second day. I never smoke test, and on the fourth day, there was no way of coming back because a lot of other things were dependent on it.
And the
So
project was lost. The project was lost, and it was gone beyond repair. Like Ritin was mentioning, right? The issue didn't happen on day 4 or day 5. It actually happened on day 2. But because our kind friend here believed in Bolt, he spent like around 40, 50 million tokens after spending 20 million tokens already. And the project was lost, and we had to revive it by recreating the whole damn thing again. Right. So, yeah.
yeah, so
As long as you do, again, slow is fast. Remember this as a motive, guys. Two things again, right? Number one, take the persona of an old nagging grandmother. That's how you prompt, right? You keep repeating the same things again and again. Second, test every single thing every time. Slow is fast. Like you don't have to put yourself on a pedestal and say, I have to finish 5 functionalities today. Don't run a functionality, review, test it. If everything works as expected, then move to the next thing. Because one error or one mess up, then it messes the whole thing around. Right now, the projects are in a state where we don't have to set up there's a multiple testing environment and production environment and all of that. But if it comes up, we'll talk about that a little later. But let's get started. By the time we meet in the next session, what I definitely want all of you to do is to charge your gold tokens. You can take the $25 plan or the $20 plan, whatever is available, right? Take the individual accounts. Start prompting. And if you feel like you're consuming too many tokens and not going forward, or there are so many errors that are coming up, or you're getting stuck at the same error but not moving forward, just ping us on the group or email us or let us know, right? Like we'll get into a call and then get started. The next 2 3 sessions, one of you is going to I think so. We'll probably go into breakout rooms where you're going to share your screens and then keep working on it. Me and Pratish will cycle between screens and if something's wrong or if something's stuck, that's the point where we will kind of pitch in. So I think we'll flip the tables around. We'll give you the silent treatment this time. In the next sessions onwards, we'll be quiet, we'll be calm, unless something massively breaks, right? Awesome. I think that's about it. As usual, if there are any questions or anything, we'll stay back. Me and Pritish will stay back for some time. If you have questions, you can stay back. Otherwise, get started. All the best, and see you in the next session.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'll call you Pritish.
Yep.
Okay, I think everyone's done. Okay, I'll give you a call later. For a second, I thought I didn't record the session.
No, it's recording. It's recording.
Okay, cool. All
Bye.
right then. Bye.